Hi, I'm Anna Roberts and I'm very excited to be trying out something very new today. I've done a lot of yoga and Pilates classes in the past, but I'm trying something different, and apparently I'm all geared up and ready for it in a suit. So I've got Emma here from the Work Place Yogi to tell me a little bit more about the activity that I'm doing this morning. Emma, I'm not in stretchy pants, I'm not in yoga pants, and I don't have my yoga bag with me because I don't need a mat either.
No.
What exactly is this class?
Sure. So before I set the business up, I really wanted to find out what would make yoga appropriate in the business world. So in my last job, I was an HR director, so I started talking to some of my peers and colleagues, to CEOs, to any business people I could find, and I asked them the question, what would make this appropriate at work? And some of the things I heard were, take away the clothing, we don't want any spandex, and I was like, yeah, I totally understand that's no spandex. Other things that they said were around the language that is sometimes associated with yoga, so spiritual, fluffy language. And actually I was really pleased to hear that, because from my own perspective, yoga has always been a science to me, with scientifically validated benefits. So being able to position it in that way at work had always made sense to me. So then the other thing they said to me was equipment. We don't want these yoga mats, and again I agree, it's not really very comfortable to get into downward dog in front of your colleague. I wouldn't want to, I don't know about you. And then finally, it really was around time. So how many people have got the time to step away from their desk, change their clothes, do an hour session and come back to work? And in most work environments, of course we don't have that time. So taking all of that feedback together, we created our Workplace Yogi technique, and that particular class, we call it the Brain and Body Booster. So we'll go into an office, usually for 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes if they want a little bit longer. And in a boardroom, in a meeting room, or any open plan area, we will get people involved in breathing techniques and stretching techniques and in some mindfulness techniques to enable them to step away from their desk, enjoy that with their team, and then go back to work feeling focused and energized.
Okay, so this is probably really perfect if you don't like yoga to begin with.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's got a few elements, it sounds, of Pilates in it, in terms of the sitting postures and isolated movements. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that it has Pilates in it, but the principles, we're teaching people, a lot around how can we protect the spine, for instance, which is obviously a huge big element in Pilates, and it's all through our core strength here. We have that in yoga as well, maybe just positioned in a slightly different way. So it's maybe sometimes people associate it a little bit with ergonomics as well. So we're giving you well-being education, we're giving you advice on ergonomics, and we're showing you how to keep the whole body and the mind fit when you're at work. And then that's the kind of added benefit of the stress reduction, which comes on top of it as well.
What's your website? Where can we find out more?
So we are www.theworkplaceyogi.com. We also have a Facebook page, we're quite active on that, and on LinkedIn. And if you visit the page, you can sign up to get our tips on staying healthy at work.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We'll head into yoga, and I don't need to change.
You don't.